الله حي ذو امتنان مولى وما له مكان سبحانه قد جل عن أين وكيف وزمان.
قال المؤلف رحمه الله: قاعدة, the rule. اللفظ الذي له معنيان أحدهما نوع من أنواع الكفر والآخر ليس كفرا. The expression which has two meanings, one of which is a type of blasphemy and the other is not blasphemy. وكان المعنى الذي هو كفر ظاهرا. And the meaning which is blasphemy is what appears. That's what seems. لكن ليس صريحا, but it's not explicit blasphemy. The statement could be taken in another way. لا يكفر قائله. The one who said that statement is not deemed as a kafir from us. But I want you to notice here, the Shaykh didn't say لا يكفر. He didn't say the one who says a statement that can have two meanings, the one meaning that appears to be blasphemy, but the other meaning is not blasphemy, but that's not what it looks like the statement means. Shaykh said here, la yukaffar. He didn't say la yakfur. He's not deemed as a kafir. He didn't say he didn't blaspheme. Whether he blasphemed or he didn't blaspheme, we're not allowed to make that determination in this case. Rather, we are not allowed to deem him as a kafir. If someone said a statement that appears to be blasphemy, and you don't know which meaning he intended, then it's not permissible for you to deem him as a kafir. Whether he really did or didn't is not your concern. لا يكفر قائله. The one who says that type of statement is not deemed as a kafir. حتى يعرف منه أي المعنيين أراد. Not until it is known which of the two meanings he intended. فإن قال أردت المعنى الكفري حكم عليه بالكفر. If he says, I intended the blasphemous meaning, then he will be judged with blasphemy. وأجري عليه أحكام الردة. And then the rules of apostasy will be applied to him. وإلا فلا يحكم عليه بالكفر. And if not, then he is not judged with blasphemy. الشرح مثال ذلك أن كلمة النبي في اللغة تأتي بمعنى الأرض المحدودبة المرتفعة. It comes with the meaning of the high, uneven land. That's one of the meanings of the word Nabi. وتأتي بمعنى من أوحي إليه بالنبوة. And it comes also with the meaning of the one who received revelation of prophethood, Nabi. فلو قال شخص الصلاة على النبي مكروهة. So had someone said, Salah upon a Nabi is disliked. وأراد أن الصلاة على الأرض المحدودبة مكروهة. But he meant that performing the prayer on unleveled land is disliked. لأن الشخص لا يخشع في صلاته عليها. So if what the person meant when he said Salah on the Nabi is disliked, that performing the prayer upon unleveled land is disliked because then the person will not fear Allah while he prays because he'll be struggling to keep his balance. So it's disliked to make salah upon this Nabi. فَكَلَامُهُ صَحِيح. That's correct speech. One's speech would be correct. وَأَمَّا إِنْ أَرَادَ أَنَّ الصَّلَاةَ عَلَى النَّبِيِّ أي مُحَمَّدٍ مَكْرُوهَةٌ, meaning that the special supplications upon Muhammad are disliked, فَهُوَ كُفْرٌ. Then that's blasphemy. لِأَنَّ ذَلِكَ تَكْذِيبٌ لِلشَّرِيعَةِ, because that is contradicting or belying the sacred law. قَالَ تَعَالَى, said God Almighty, exalted is He, إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَمَلَائِكَتَهُ يُصَلُّونَ عَلَى النَّبِيِّ يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Which means, indeed, Allah and the angels, Allah makes salah on the Nabi, and the angels make salah on the Nabi. The salah of Allah is not like the salah of the angels. The salah of Allah is the blessing of Allah upon the Prophet. The salah of the angels is the dua of the angels for the Prophet. يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. O those who have believed, make salah on him, on the Nabi, and make salam on him. وكذلك إذا قال قائل الخبز خير من الله. Likewise, had a sayer said, الخبز خير من الله. This sentence in Arabic. فإن أراد أنه نعمة من الله فلا يكفر. Yani the word khayr, it could mean good or it could mean better. So al-khubzu, bread, is khayr, good, is good, something good, min Allah, from Allah. Bread is something good from Allah. Al-khubzu khayrun min Allah. But the same words, khayr could mean better. And then min would mean than. If khayr means better, then min would mean than. Then it would be saying bread is better than Allah. So that sentence, al-khubzu khayrun min Allah, it has two ways it could be taken. It could mean bread is goodness from Allah, or it could mean bread is better than Allah. So he said, فَإِنْ أَرَادَ أَنَّهُ نِعْمَةٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ فَلَا يَكْفُرُ. If one meant that bread is an endowment from Allah, he does not blaspheme. أَمَّا إِنْ أَرَادَ أَنَّ هَذَا أَفْضَلُ مِنَ اللَّهِ يَكْفُرُ. As for if he meant that this is better than Allah, he blasphemes. لِأَنَّ كَلِمَةَ خَيْرٍ فِي لُغَةِ الْعَرَبِ. Because the word khayr in the language of the Arabs, تأتي بمعنى أفضل وتأتي بمعنى نعمة. It comes with the meaning of better, and it comes with the meaning of something good. فَيُحْكَمُ عَلَى الْقَائِلِ بِحَسَبِ الْمَعْنَى الَّذِي أَرَادَهُ. And so the sayer is judged in accordance with the meaning that he intended. And you're not obligated also to seek the meaning that he intended. If he said, Al-khubzu khayrun min Allah, you don't have to say to him, which meaning did you intend? It's enough for you to say, that's not explicit blasphemy, I can't judge him as a blasphemer, and then you stop there. قال المؤلف رحمه الله, the author, may Allah have mercy upon him, said, وَكَذَلِكَ إِنْ كَانَ اللَّفْظُ لَهُ مَعَانٍ كَثِيرَةٍ. And likewise, if the expression has many meanings, وَكَانَ كُلُّ مَعَانِيهِ كُفْرًا, and all of its meanings were blasphemy, وَكَانَ مَعْنًا وَاحِدٌ مِنْهَا غَيْرَ كُفْرٍ, and one meaning of them was not blasphemy, لَا يُكَفَّرْ, then the person would not be deemed as a kafir. إِلَّا أَنْ يُعْرَفَ مِنْهُ إِرَادَةُ الْمَعْنَى الْكُفْرِ, unless known about him is the intent of the blasphemous meaning. Like the context, for example, makes you know that. You're having a conversation with him, and then he says a statement that can have more than one meaning. But it's clear from the context that he means the blasphemous meaning. If you were talking to a Wahhabi who's likening Allah to the creations, and then he said, Allah is high. So that statement alone doesn't mean that he's saying that Allah is in a place. But if the context and the whole conversation makes you know that, then khalas, you understood what he meant. Then you will say he committed blasphemy. وَهَذَا هُوَ الَّذِي ذَكَرَهُ بَعْضُ الْعُلَمَاءِ الْحَنَفِيِّينَ فِي كُتُبِهِمْ. And this is what some of the Hanafi scholars have mentioned in their books. And the reason the Shaykh quotes generally from time to time in these cases the Hanafis because the Hanafis were masters in the aqidah, and they talked about these cases at length. قال وأما ما يقوله بعض الناس من أنه إذا كان في الكلمة 99 قولا بالتكفير. As for what some people say, that if there was for one word 99 sayings of deeming it as blasphemy, وقول واحد بترك التكفير, and one saying about abandoning the charge of blasphemy or the accusation of blasphemy, then taken would be the abandonment of accusing the other of blasphemy. فلا معنى له, that's meaningless. يعني, some people said there's a rule. They say, ya akhi, there's a rule, akhi. Shuf. If there was one word that there were 99 sayings, if we had 100 people and 99 of them said it's kufr, and only one of those 99 said it's not kufr, then we say it's not kufr. They say this is famous, mashhur, ya akhi. This is meaningless, it's garbage. ولا يصح نسبة ذلك إلى مالك ولا إلى أبي حنيفة. And attributing that to Malik is not valid, nor to Abu Hanifa. كما نسب سيد سابق شبه ذلك إلى مالك. Like how Sayyid Sabiq attributed something like that to Malik. وهو شائع على ألسنة بعض العصريين. And this is widespread on the tongues of some contemporaries. فَلْيَتَّقُوا اللَّهِ, so let them fear Allah. Let them stop saying this wrong rule, that if there are 99 sayings that something is kufr, and one saying that it's not kufr, then we say it's not kufr. There's no rule like that. Yani, people of our time, we spoke about this before. One of the common misguidances among those who are claimed to be shaykhs and scholars of our time is to say these types of wrong rules concerning blasphemy. Ash-SharH, the explanation, أنه ينبغي الحذر مما يقوله بعض المؤلفين عن مالك رضي الله عنه, is that there should be warning from what some authors say about Malik, may Allah accept his deeds. أنه إذا اختلف الناس على 99 قولا. What did they say? They said if the people differ, having 99 sayings بالتكفير, that something is blasphemy, وقول واحد بترك التكفير, and one saying that it's not blasphemy, يؤخذ بهذا القول الواحد, then the one that's taken is that one, that it's not blasphemy. وهذه لا أصل لها عن مالك ولا عن أبي حنيفة. This has no basis. This is baseless. It has no origin from Malik, no source from Malik, nor from Abu Hanifa. فلا تثبت عن أحد منهما. So it is not confirmed from either of them. وهذا ليس معناه أن هذه الكلمة لها عدة معان. And this doesn't mean the correct rule that we said, which is when a word has numerous meanings. أحد معانيها ليس كفرا والأخرى كلها كفر. One of its meanings is not blasphemy and the rest of its meanings are blasphemy. That's not what this corrupted rule is saying. وإنما بعض المؤلفين يريدونها في الكلمة الصريحة في الكفر. Rather, some authors produce this corrupt rule for a statement that is explicit in blasphemy. A quick reminder for you, the word kalima in Arabic, which means word. Also, the word in English, both of those, kalima and word, they can mean statement. Both of those, they can mean statement. You can say, can I have a word with you? What does that mean? One single word? No, it means, can I talk to you? Can I have a discussion with you? Or address a subject with you? An issue with you? So here, if we say word with the meaning of statement, there's no problem. وإنما الذي في عبارات الفقهاء وفي مؤلفاتهم, rather the expressions of the jurists and what is in their authorings, أن من تكلم بلفظ له أوجه عديدة, is that whoever spoke with an expression that has numerous facets, and it can be taken in various ways. Takfir, different ways, all of those different ways dictate blasphemy. وَوَجْهٌ وَاحِدٌ لَا يَقْتَضِي التَّكْفِيرِ, and one way, there's one way the statement can be taken that does not dictate blasphemy. يَحْكُمُ الْمُفْتِي بِالْوَجْهِ الْوَاحِدِ, then the judge will go by that one way. That's what the scholars said in their books. What they mean is the judge won't deem him as a kafir, like what we said. إِلَّا أَنْ يَقُولَ الْمُتَلَفِّظُ بِهِ إِنَّهُ أَرَادَ غَيْرَ ذَلِكَ الْوَجْهِ, unless the one who said that, who uttered that, says that he intended other than that way that's not blasphemy, he meant other than that, meaning he meant the blasphemous way. فَلَا يَنْفَعُهُ فَتْوَى الْمُفْتِي وَتَبِينُ امْرَأَتُهُ. So then, in this case, the fatwa, the verdict of the judge, will not benefit him when the judge says, not blasphemy, not charged with blasphemy. But really he meant the blasphemy. The judge's verdict does not save him from blasphemy. He's still a blasphemer despite the judge's verdict, because the judge is just applying the rules. وَتَبِينُ امْرَأَتُهُ, and then he would be separated from his wife because he committed apostasy. وَمَعْنَى هَذَا, and the meaning of this, أَنَّ الَّذِي يَتَلَفَّظُ بِلَفْظٍ لَهُ عِدَّةُ مَعَانٍ, is that the one who utters an expression that has numerous meanings, وَلَهُ مَعْنًى وَاحِدٌ لَا يَقْتَضِي التَّكْفِيرِ, and it has one meaning that does not dictate the accusation of blasphemy, وَالْمَعَانِي الْأُخَرُ تَقْتَضِي التَّكْفِيرِ, and the other meanings of that statement do dictate the accusation of blasphemy. لَا يُحْكَمُ بِكُفْرِهِ, he will not be judged with blasphemy. إِلَّا أَنْ يَقُولَ إِنَّهُ أَرَادَ الْمَعْنَى الْكُفْرِ, unless he says that he meant the blasphemous meaning. وَقَدْ ذُكِرَ لِذَلِكَ مِثَالٌ عَنْ مُحَمَّدِ بْنِ الْحَسَنِ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ, and there was reported there was mentioned for that an example from Muhammad ibn al-Hasan, may Allah accept his deeds. وَهُوَ أَنَّ الرَّجُلَ إِذَا قِيلَ لَهُ, which is that if a man had it been said to him, Salli, pray, فَقَالَ لَا أُصَلِّي, and he said, I don't pray. فَإِنْ أَرَادَ لَا أُصَلِّي لِأَنِّي قَدْ صَلَّيْتُ لَا يَكْفُرُ, if he meant, I don't pray because I've already prayed, he doesn't blaspheme. وَإِنْ أَرَادَ لَا أُصَلِّي لِقَوْلِكَ لَا يَكْفُرُ, and if he says, I don't pray because you told me to, just because you told me to, then he doesn't blaspheme. وَكَذَا إِنْ أَرَادَ لَا أُصَلِّي أَنَا مُتَكَاسِلٌ, also if he meant I don't pray, I'm lazy, then he doesn't blaspheme. وَإِنْ أَرَادَ أَنَّهُ لَا يُصَلِّي لِأَنَّهُ مُسْتَخِفٌ بِهَا كَفَرٌ, and if he meant I don't pray because he belittles the prayer, then he blasphemed. ويفهم من لفظ المتن أيضا أن ما كان من الكلام فيه استخفاف بالدين, and it is understood from the expression of the author's original text also that whatever speech has in it belittling the religion, أو إنكار ما علم من الدين بالضرورة, or denial of what is known in the religion by necessity, نكفر قائله, then we charge with blasphemy who said so, who said it, its sayer. وقال خالف ولو خالف في ذلك ألف إنسان, even if 1,000 people differed about that. ولا ننظر إلى كثرة المخالفين, we don't look at the number of opposers. وإنما ننظر إلى موافقة الحق, rather we look at compliance with the truth, because this is not a matter of voting or some type of democratic system to judge him as a kafir. قال المؤلف رحمه الله قال العلماء, the author, may Allah have mercy on him, said, the scholar said, أما الصريح, as for the explicit, أي الذي ليس له إلا معنى واحد, meaning the one that only has one meaning, يقتضي التكفير, it dictates or demands the accusation of blasphemy. فيحكم على قائله بالكفر, and so its sayer is judged with blasphemy. كقول أن الله, like saying I am God. حتى لو صدر هذا اللفظ من ولي في حالة غيبة عقله يعذر, even if this expression issued forth from a saint while his mind was missing, was absent, يعذر, he will be punished. He will be punished for that, by a way that the ruler sees fit. وَلَوْ لَمْ يَكُنْ هُوَ مُكَلَّفًا تِلْكَ السَّاعَةِ, even if he is not accountable at that moment. قال ذلك عز الدين بن عبد السلام, said that did عز الدين ibn عبد السلام, وذلك لأن التعزير يؤثر في من غاب عقله, that's because punishment affects whom his mind was gone. كما يؤثر في الصاحي العاقل, في الصاحي العاقل, just like punishment affects the clear and sane, the clear-minded sane one. وكما يؤثر في البهائم, and just as it affects the animals. فإنها إذا جمحت فضربت تكف عن جموحها مع أنها ليست بعاقلة, for indeed they, the animals, when they are defiant and then hit, they stop their defiance, though they are not intelligent, though they do not have intellect. كذلك الولي الذي نطق بالكفر في حال الغيبة, likewise the saint who uttered blasphemy while his mind was gone. لما يضرب أو يصرخ عليه, when he is hit or shouted at, يكف للزاجر الطبيعي, he will desist because of the natural effect of being reprimanded or scolded. Ash-SharH, the explanation, أن من صدر منه كفر صريح يكفر, whomever there issued forth from him, or whoever there issued forth from him explicit blasphemy, he blasphemes. ولا يقبل له تأويل, and no alternative explanation is accepted from him. إلا إذا كان لا يفهم معنى الكلمة التي قالها, unless he does not understand the meaning of the word that he said. فعندئذ لا يكفر, upon that he is not accused with blasphemy or accused of blasphemy. فمن حصل منه كفر صريح, so whoever there issued forth or happened from him, whoever there occurred from him explicit blasphemy, ينظر في فهمه, then his understanding is investigated. ولا ينظر إلى قصده, and his intention is not investigated. فإن كان يفهم المعنى الكفري, if he was understanding the blasphemous meaning, وقال لم أقصده, and then he said, I didn't intend it, كفر, he blasphemed, ولم يقبل منه تأوله, and unaccepted from him is his interpretation of the statement. For example, some people claim that they don't know what pimp means. Okay. You claim that you don't know what pimp means. Would you call the Prophet a pimp? No, that's because you know what it means. So, when someone says an explicit blasphemy, and then he claims not to know what it means, or he claims another meaning, or he gives some alternative explanation, if he really knows what the word means, he blasphemes. Like people who claim, we don't know, maybe God is not right, or goddess is not, maybe someone doesn't know what it means. Okay. So would that person call Aisha, the Prophet's wife, a goddess? No, I don't think so. Or call the Prophet a god, claiming that, well, God means this and that? No, he wouldn't. So like that, someone once, he was refuted. He was making a case for the word nigga with an A, not an ER. One of our sisters refuted him. He's one of our brothers. He was refuted by a sister. He's saying, well, today the word nigga is different from the word nigger. And, blah, blah, blah. She said, would you call the Shaykh a nigga? And then he had nothing to say. MashaAllah. وَإِن لَمْ يَفْهَمِ الْمَعْنَى الْكُفْرِيَّ لَا يُكَفَّرُ. And if he does not understand the blasphemous meaning it really only means blasphemy, but he doesn't understand it, لا يكفر, then he is not accused of blasphemy. ولكن ينهى عن ذلك القول. However, he would be forbidden from saying that. وأما من حصل منه كلام يحتمل وجهين. As for whomever there occurred from him speech that bears two ways, بحسب وضع اللغة, according to the language. أحدهما كفر والآخر ليس كذلك. One of those ways is blasphemy and the other is not like that. فإن هذا ينظر إلى قصده. This one, indeed, his intention is investigated. فإن كان أراد المعنى الكفري كفر. If he intended the blasphemous meaning, he blasphemes. وإلا فلا يكفر. Or else he does not blaspheme. وأما من قال كلمة كفرية لا تحتمل إلا معنى واحدا. As for whoever says a blasphemous word that does not bear but one meaning, بحسب وضع اللغة, according to how it was put forth in the language, ولكن هو ظن أن لها معنى آخر غير كفري, but he thinks it has another meaning that's not blasphemy, فقالها على هذا الوجه. So he says it in this way, الذي ظنه غير كفري فلا يكفر or يكفر. We read it both ways. So then he said this in this way that he thinks is not blasphemy. He says it in the way that he thinks is not blasphemy. فلا يكفر, then he does not blaspheme. We read it that way. And فلا يكفر, then he is not judged with blasphemy. We read it that way.
الله حي ذو امتنان أولا وما له مكان سبحانه قد جل عن أين